every story has a beginning. And while Fu Hui's story originally began in China, in 2015, we began to write a new chapter in our organization's history. Inspired by former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Paul Martin, we began working with Indigenous people in Canada the same way we did in China. Led by our core principles of enriching children's lives through education, we initiated a cultural exchange program. This program provided the opportunity to our members to visit schools on Indigenous reserves in remote communities in Ontario. Later, to bring the cultural exchange full circle, Indigenous students from Southern Ontario and Nova Scotia were brought to Toronto, where they participated in hands-on activities, where they learned about Chinese culture, made new friends, and began forging relationships that would hopefully last a lifetime. Then, in 2017, to further focus on Indigenous communities and children, we collaborated with the Martin Family Initiative. Together, we established and revitalized 11 state-of-the-art school libraries on Indigenous reserves across Canada, with an additional 9 libraries now in the planning phase. This program was designed to instill an early love of learning by offering a diverse selection of literature penned by Indigenous authors.
These partnerships have meant that schools who did not previously have access to culturally and age-appropriate books have them in environments that are conducive to learning, to building relationships, and to strengthening community bonds. This effort would not have been possible without the Fu Hui Foundation. We share a true passion to improve education and supports for First Nation students across the country. From all of us at MFI, thank you.
In 2018, we doubled our efforts. Committed to further help a larger spectrum of Indigenous communities, we expanded our partnership with the University of Toronto by tailoring a Master of Social Work program for Indigenous adults. We provided numerous annual scholarships in the Faculty of Social Work Specialist Program in Indigenous Trauma and Resiliency. Whether it was their first time pursuing a degree or a return to higher education, the program's mission was to create leaders who could return to local support centers or find routes to advocacy in governmental capacities.
Through the generosity of the Fu Hui Foundation, dozens of students from remote and urban Indigenous communities all over Canada have been able to complete MSW degrees focused on Indigenous trauma and resiliency. This work is incredibly important to healing and health in these communities that have been so deeply affected by colonization and violence. I want to say how grateful we are to Fu Hui Foundation for their dedication and support, and I congratulate them on 20 years of having such a huge impact all over the world.
Adult graduates like Sabrina Williams are a shining example of our hopes coming to fruition. Having experienced trauma herself and graduated from the program, Sabrina now works in British Columbia as a counselor for a trauma recovery program.
Healing is a never-ending process. The program helps build the skills to invest deeply into our own healing in order to support others in their healing journey.
Sabrina's story is just one of many success stories, demonstrating our investment in nurturing professionals who bring out positive change through their specialized skills and understanding. But our story is not complete, because there is still a very important member of the community we realized we could help. Beginning in 2023, we have committed to helping important pillars of our communities, the seniors. To help Indigenous elders and residential and day school survivors develop English literacy skills, we have recently sponsored the Literacy Circle. This program encompasses both group learning sessions and individualized education plans, all of which are conducted in a classroom setting. It provides physical spaces for seniors to gather and share their stories and experiences, all while learning to read and write in a nurturing and secure environment.
I love school. It's good for your brain. People should come learn more. I always tell my children they're my backbone. They're my life. Now I got flowers, which are my grandchildren. They too are my backbone. When they told them I was back in school again, "Oh wow, you're gonna be smart, Grandma?" I'm like, "Yeah, I hope so."
In this way, our work has empowered and enriched the entire circle of life within the Indigenous communities.
So far, we have funded around $1.8 million in enhancing and enriching Indigenous educational opportunities. Since the creation of Fuhui, we have been on a mission to help strengthening underprivileged communities in China, and we are now proud to support our own people in Canada. We are committed to continue our work for many years to come. We hope to count on all our board members, volunteers, and donors to continue their support and belief in our mission. Thank you so much for all your support. Let's continue our work for another 20 years or even longer.